Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back to Heiko Shaves. Today was really a day for a shave for me. I just shaved last afternoon, so there's not much there. I think there's enough to try out a razor. I have down here in my bathroom cabinet, I have those cheapo little drawer organizers that you can buy at Walmart in this cabinet down below, which have tons of little drawers. And one of the drawers is full of razors that are, from the dollar store. I just walk past the shaving aisle in a grocery store or whatever, and I see a razor that I haven't seen before or I haven't bought before, and then I just pick it up. And I also occasionally buy stuff online that's not really like high on my priority list, but I was researching, vintage razors, vintage German razors, and I came across a listing of it's kind of like an online flea market, primarily dealing with military surplus items, military awards, medals, gear from World War I, World War II, whatever. And they also had razors listed. This one here. So, here at the top it says Wehrmacht. Wehrmacht was the name of the German armed forces during World War II. Wehrmacht is a defense might, literally translated. So Wehr, defending, and Macht is the might. And you see a German soldier on there with a typical World War II helmet and all that. So I'm not, endorsing any kind of, glorification of what happened in World War II. And I definitely know all about the history. If you guys didn't know, I was an officer in the German army. I was in the German armed forces for 12 years. And that's where I learned how to fly helicopters. And of course, it's like mandatory education to learn about your dark history of World War II and of World War I and all that stuff. Especially in Officers Academy, we had military history. So I'm not endorsing anything. I just came across this. It was 20 euros plus shipping. And supposedly this is the German Armed Forces World War II Rasierapparat, which is like the razor. And at the bottom it says Deutsche Wertarbeit. Deutsch is German and Wertarbeit is like high quality workmanship. So German high quality workmanship. And this is a 3-piece double-edged razor. Unfortunately, the packaging was already broken. This is this really flimsy, thin little paper. And I'm assuming if this is really from the 30s or 40s, this has been sitting in some warehouse for a really, really long time. So I couldn't find much information about this. We're just going to take it out. I'm going to keep the packaging. And then this little thing here is wrapped together with some paper. Has a paper wrapper. So there's a little handle, some knurling on it. Looks really cheaply made. There's some corrosion at the end. That's probably just from sitting around. And let's just take it out of here. I'm not going to rip the paper. I'm just going to put it back in the box or in this package. Very cheaply made. Very cheaply made. This is stamped aluminum. It's the bottom part and the closed comb here. And the top, yeah, this could be some cast material. This is probably what it is. It was sanded off on the end really crudely. You can still see the markings of whatever sanding machine they used. The sides are not even square. And then a typical, 3-piece. It's plated in some shape or form, which has picked up quite a bit of tarnish just from sitting, I'm assuming. I don't think this is used. So this is really chintzy, very cheaply made, very crude, but that might have been war production, really, honestly. They had limitations on metal that industry could use for anything other than war production. And so I'm assuming that even the razor production in those years was highly limited. Maybe they had to go outside and find some, oh my goodness, this is, look at this. Maybe this has been floating around in a shipping container this is completely bent out of shape. So I probably will only use the side that's straight. The other side is a little bent. I might be able to shape that back, push it back to where it belongs. But for now, we're just going to do a one pass. I just want to see if this is actually usable or if this is more like a decoration piece. I could venture a guess that, when they were sending their soldiers off to war somewhere in the east or in the west, they didn't really care what type of razor they had or if they looked specifically clean shaven in their face. And I guess in a pinch somewhere in the trenches, you can shave with this thing. But I mean, this is like brutal. World War II was brutal. So yeah. Anyways, so like I said, not endorsing anything. I'm not starting a new trend here on this channel that we're talking about World War II and glorifying anything of World War II. We all know what we know, and I definitely know a lot about World War II history. I'm kind of a history buff, actually. I'm really interested in this topic. So then I was contemplating what kind of soap and aftershave to use. I wanted to use something that is maybe just as old. And really the only one in my collection here I could come up with is Old Spice. Unfortunately, they put stickers everywhere. Here's a expiration date and here's a barcode on it. So Old Spice came out in 1937 as early American Old Spice. The inventor or the producer's last name was a German last name, Schultz. So I decided to go with this. Of course, this is a completely different company now. This is Procter & Gamble. These days, probably different formulation, and it probably smells different than the original early American Old Spice. And this is a shaving cream. And then I also have the Old Spice Classic Perfume Classique, whatever. The aftershave. I hope this is, yeah, aftershave. This is the only one that I could find that's actually just as old as this razor, probably. So the product, not the bottle itself. So let's just put some pre-shave on, then slap a blade in there, and then you guys help me remember which side is the straight edge or the straight side of the razor, so that I'm not gonna cut my face open. So just a little curiosity, a relic, so to speak. You know, there's a lot of collectors out there that collect this C&R collectibles, like old vintage firearms, knives, uniform parts. Some people collect heads from World War II or old military, Navy. I mean, you name it. There's so many collectors out there. And I've noticed that guys that, you know, they care about vintage razors. They usually care about watches. I was asked to always do a watch shout out or a watch announcement, what kind of watch I wear. I do like watches. I actually have another channel that I'm just starting out. It's Heiko's Watches, and I do a little bit hobby watch repair, not a professional. I'm just tinkering around with watches because watches take up less space in the house than vintage cars, which I also work on, motorcycles and all that stuff. So I'm a pretty techie kind of guy. I wrench on everything that has an engine, but you know, I can only have so many vehicles and so many motorcycles. So then I started watch repair, tinkering around with cheap watches off of eBay. So this one here right now, nothing fancy. This is a homage, or let's call it a clone, of a Seiko Captain Willard, a 6105. Captain Willard was a character in Apocalypse Now, the movie, and he was wearing a Seiko watch, and this Seiko, the original Seiko watch, was really popular among the American GIs because it was a dive watch which could stand up to the moist and sweaty and high humidity environment in Vietnam and would not fail. The watch they were offering to their soldiers back in the days wouldn't stand up to that weather, so they all bought themselves the Seiko 6105, and so it became really popular when this movie came out. And so nowadays Seiko 6105's 8110 is the official full number. They go for like $2,000-3,000 on eBay as a collector's item, and of course I can't afford that kind of stuff. So I bought this. This is a Chinese clone, pretty usable watch. It's an automatic, has a Seiko movement inside, and I even built my own version of the 6105. This is what Seiko would have looked like, similar to this. I put this together out of bits and pieces. I actually have a video if you want to see it. Find my other channel. Yeah, so that's what I do as another hobby. You know, we always have to have many hobbies. So let's do a shave now. I'm rambling along, my goodness. So let's grab a simple synthetic brush here, made in China. Get that wet, just real quick. I haven't even put water in my sink or in my emesis basin here. because I wasn't really planning on doing anything. But then, you know, I've had this little razor sitting around for a while now, and I just wanted to try it out. And so we're gonna use the Old Spice shave cream here right on the brush. Squeeze that onto the brush, a lot of it. And it's on the brush now. Let's get the face wet just a little bit on top of the pre-shave. And we're gonna start. Ooh, that was maybe a little much. But you know, if I would have money as much as I have shave cream at home, so we can use a lot. Let's spread it out first. It's actually, I mean, I know the smell of Old Spice even though I don't regularly use it, but the soap is actually pretty mild. The aftershave is pretty intense, so I can handle the smell of the soap here. Very subdued, you know, the typical smell like a man, Old Spice. All right, we need to hydrate this way more. This is so thick. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Okay. As you can tell, I'm a little not organized here, disorganized, so to speak. Let's just grab, I have a one-time used Persona Platinum Chrome sitting here. We're just going to use that. It's been sitting there for a while and I never use it, so 3-piece razor. A modern razor blade apparently fits this very crudely made razor. Oh, and now we don't want to cut my fingers open. On one side we barely have blade overhang, on the other side it sticks out quite a ways. This side is the straight one. It looks pretty aggressive, I gotta say. The blade is exposed. All right. Whew. Let's get started. This is the shave. One pass only. Huh. Surprising. This is surprising. So I can only use one side because the other side is completely kittywampus. And here, as you can see, this side is like bent down or whatever. So we're not using that one, but the side that's actually straight and usable, it's good. The soap does also a pretty good job. It's thick and creamy, but still light enough so that the razor can actually move it out of the way. I didn't expect this. I thought this would be absolutely, totally terrible. Huh. So I'm assuming the German soldier in the trenches, or while running away from the Red Army, they were still able to be clean shaven. I don't know if they really did. I mean, my two grandfathers both served in the military, of course, was mandatory. And one was actually in Russian POW camp till 1947, so 2 years after the war he was released. But yeah. Huh. Had to give it a quick sneeze here. I seem to be really allergic to something that's growing at the moment. Huh. I'm really shocked, surprised, and all of the above that this is working as well as it does. There's still stubbles, so I was saying that we're only going to do a one pass because I didn't want to irritate the living daylights out of my face. So now, since we found out that it's actually usable, we're just going to continue on. All right, still the only one side's usable. We're going to just do another second pass across the grain. This is actually really enjoyable. I'm shocked. I mean, the quality of this thing, this looks like an aluminum handle. This is aluminum. Not sure. Just the corrosion on it looks like aluminum corroding. The bottom plate is for sure pressed aluminum. And why they would put Deutsche Wertarbeit, German high quality craftsmanship on there, I have no idea. Let's rinse this off. So, and since this is going so well, let's do a third pass, shall we? Let's just do it. Let's just do an against the grain pass. I don't know if my skin really agrees with the soap. It's a little burny. That's another word. Creation burny. Blady and burny. Okay, let's do it. All right, blade's still there. It's still all tight. One side completely kitty wumpus. All right, just checking. Very lightweight, by the way. Weighs nothing. I might weigh it here in a second. Okay, and now the next section. Can we do it? Yeah, we can. I did very little pressure, of course. Oh, upper lip. Making sure the right side. Some of you guys have mentioned Yuma razors. They are made in Turkey. Oh, let's rinse off real quick. All right, what can we say? It's not super smooth, but I just didn't want to risk it either. And since I just shaved like 12 hours ago. No, maybe 18 hours ago. Didn't want to overdo it either. Didn't want to damage my skin. But really, honestly, I was really nervous looking at this thing, how crude it is. And how, not high quality it is. So today we had a little bit of rambling session, military history, Heiko's family history and all that stuff, how we tie all together here with this stuff. But I know that a lot of guys that collect things are always interested in history, me included. And so I hope you guys like this little video where we went into the curio relic drawer of Heiko's razor collection. So here's now Old Spice. And I know this is going to be kind of a burning sensation. I can feel a little bit of some tingle on my upper lip here, my mustache. And this is one of those scents that my wife absolutely does not appreciate. It is too intense and too flowery, powdery. She likes the light, clean smell, but not the overpowering one. She would be complaining if she would be in the bathroom right now. So I'm doing that while nobody's at home, and then it can wear off over time. So that's it. This is the Wehrmacht Rasierer. Let's weigh it real quick. It with a blade, 32 grams. 32 grams is like a plastic razor almost. I might just take it down to the shop and try to get the other side straight, so that it kind of looks even at least. Or maybe just leave it this way. This is a historical item, I guess. So that's it. I hope you guys liked this little excursion, and I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me and shaving with me. Keep the comments coming, subscribe, and give me a thumbs up if you like. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.